Welcome to Let's Talk Sports here on WYLN. I'm your host, Marty Burns. This week we have two very special guests joining us. It's very strange to get two all-state athletes in the same sport at the same school in a couple of years span, let alone in the same family. I'm talking about Emily and Scotty Zoscin, formerly of Weatherly High School. We're going to talk to both of them as Let's Talk Sports continues right after this.
Guys, this is Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander, Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Hazleton. Let's make this the summer event. Put you and your family in one of these great-looking Grand Cherokee Limited L's.
We have over 8 in stock.
Or if you want something more rugged, how about a 2021 Ram Rebel? How about the 2021 Jeep Renegade? Save over $5,000. We have over 25 to choose from. Whether you're looking new or used, stop down and check out the huge selection of Blaze Alexander, Greater Hazleton, Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and you'll find out why we take the deals those other guys won't.
When emergency strikes, trust your care to the all-new ER at Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. With a facility that's now twice the size. Experienced nurses who see you right away. A quick assessment process makes sure you get the care you need. Advanced technology on site. Safe, private treatment rooms. And a peace of mind that only this level of care can bring. When it matters most, trust your partner in emergency care.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Tomorrow's care starts today with Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, your ER partner.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Sports here on WYLN. I'm your host, Marty Burns. As I mentioned, pleased to have joining us this week in the middle, attending East Stroudsburg University coming up this fall will be Scotty Zoscin, and currently, I can't believe I'm saying this, entering her junior season at Lycoming. Talking about Emily Zoscin. And Scotty and Emily, thanks a lot for joining us this week.
Thank you for having us.
Let's start off with college, and we'll start ladies first. So, Emily, how's the first couple years been at Lycoming playing basketball?
It's been awesome. I mean, it was a nice transition. Weatherly small, Lycoming small, so I really enjoyed that. I mean, freshman year was awesome. The girls were really great. We had a lot of seniors that stepped up with the freshmen, including myself, so they were great to have. Sophomore year was a little difficult with COVID, right. But, you know, that was a great year. We were quarantined a lot together just to come together. We were teammates and we became more of a family, which helped a lot because we were all going through it together. But I'm really excited for junior year and, you know, have a full season and hopefully things start going back to normal.
And Scotty, you had the luxury this year of graduating from Weatherly. Now you're going to be heading to East Stroudsburg. What drew you to East Stroudsburg and to the cross-country and track programs?
Well, the coach, I really fell in love with the coach. He was a great guy. You know, we became pretty good buddies. He would call me on the phone a lot, seemed very genuine. And I'm going for exercise science too, so they have a great program there for that as well. And I was talking to a couple of the guys on the team too, and they seemed a really good group of guys. Remind me of the team we had at Weatherly, so.
And Emily, we'll have one more question as far as the college, and you sort of touched on it a little bit. Playing under this pandemic, you had a limited number of games this season. How was that experience?
It was different for sure. I mean, getting tested 3 times a week. We would have games on Fridays. We would get tested Friday, and we wouldn't find out if we could play that game until that day pretty much. We were in the Little League World Series, their dorm rooms. That's where we stayed for a while. We stayed in the freshman dorms. We quarantined in our dorms, you know. It was like a different thing each week. We went like a couple weeks without practicing at all and then trying to get back into it, you know, limited time before a game. It was a lot to adapt to, but, you know, like I said earlier, it brought us closer as a team and, you know, I'm glad everybody stuck around and we got through it together.
And Scotty, you played this past year, as we said, at Weatherly. Saw a couple of pictures. You look like one of those old Western bank robbers with the full mask. All you could see was the eyes. But in all seriousness, how hard was it to play with that type of mask restricting your breathing?
It was an adjustment. It really was, but I think I did the little ninja thing because if anything, it kind of helped me because those masks are a little bit more breathable than the normal ones. And I put the headband on too, so it wouldn't keep falling down. And that's when I had, the longer hair too, so it kind of worked as a little keep that hair back a little bit. But I mean, overall, it was a bit of an adjustment, but. Like Emily said, we overcame. It's those group of guys too for the basketball team as well. They're a strong group of individuals, and I couldn't ask to play with a better group than them. And all of us together, we just overcame it all. And it was we normalized it as much as we could. And it was still a very great experience to go through.
And we mentioned you got the honor this year of being named All-State. Your sister Emily was a 3-time All-Stater at Weatherly. Talk about how, looking at what Emily had accomplished, getting All-State, how that could be a goal for you as you were finishing up your high school career.
It definitely was a goal of mine, Usually throughout the years, I'd always see what Emily got and kind of, I'd always try to match it.
Right.
I always used Emily as motivation. I never really told her that, but I always did use her as motivation to get those type of things. But once I got the phone call that I got it, I was almost like a sigh of relief because it was my senior year. I got nominated twice before, didn't get it, but finally getting it, I really was honored to be, with Emily on that one.
Now, Emily, what was better for you? Your 3 All-State joining on All-State teams, or seeing Scotty get his first?
Seeing Scotty get his first. No, I was really happy for him, honestly. Just seeing how hard Scotty works, throughout the years. It'll be like 2 in the morning and I hear him downstairs dribbling a basketball and I'm trying to sleep. So just like seeing like all of that, he worked hard for every single award he's gotten. So I was really happy for him. My dad texted me, I think I was at school and he texted me, I was like, oh my gosh, Scotty finally got it. Like I was just so happy for him, it's just awesome.
Now, Scotty, we mentioned that you're heading to East Stroudsburg University for cross country and track, a very successful high school career, junior high cross country champion, Schuylkill League team champion, 2-time division winner, 4-time All-Star in the Schuylkill League, 4-time medalist in cross country at the Schuylkill League meet and a 2-time runner-up, 4-time medalist in cross country at the District 11 Class A meet, and 4 trips to Hershey, where your athletic department was quick to mention you're the only runner to accomplish that in school history. We talk about cross-country track being a team sport, but there's a lot of individual work that has to be put in, whereas basketball, it's more of a group effort to get to that goal.
Yeah, it is. It was individual. I mean, I did put a lot of work into it, and throughout the years, it was mostly me. I didn't really have the teammates to, boost me up like we would for basketball. We had a great group of guys throughout the years for basketball. But once I started getting in my junior and senior years, we've had a great group of guys, all 5, 6, 7 of us, and it became more of an individual to more of a team sport, as most people don't think cross country is. But we had a great group of guys. They worked just as hard as me, and in a way, it kind of pushed me even harder to get even better. And without those guys, I don't think many of these accolades wouldn't even be possible.
And Emily, we don't want to slight you in any bit in your track and field. 2017 and 18 District 11 AA champion in the 100-meter dash, 2-time PIAA state qualifier, again the only athlete in school history to win a district title in track and field back-to-back years. Finished 9th in the 2018 PIAA championships and 13th in the 2017 Schuylkill League champion, a silver medalist in the District 11 meet. And when you think about running, how easy is it to just go down the hall and maybe say, Scotty, let's go for a run just to get yourselves both in shape for your upcoming seasons?
So Scotty and I really don't run that much together because I can't keep up with him like that. But we do have memberships at the Iron House gym, and we'll go there a lot together, actually. So on the treadmills, I don't feel as bad if I have to go slower.
Yeah.
But he helps me a lot in the gym, you know. So that's what we do together a lot to get in shape for the season, and we do push each other. You know, we motivate each other when we're doing the bench, things like that.
Yeah.
So it's nice having each other for that because we both have similar goals. So.
Well, that's good to hear. Good to hear. And we haven't even touched on the basketball yet, where you're both all-state honorees. So we'll get to that as Let's Talk Sports continues right after this.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Physical Therapy and Balance Centers. It's spelled different because we are different. Physical is unlike any therapy center you've been to before. If you're tired of living in pain, if you want to move better, overcome an injury or balance disorder, or you just want to improve your strength and conditioning, our highly skilled team of medical experts will help you get back to living the life you enjoy. New mentality, new body, new life. Get physical.
Follow us on our weekly journeys through the backstories of those paving NEPA toward a better future.
Each night we'll dig a little deeper into the lives and goals of our local leaders. So stay tuned for the end of our news as we learn more of those leading the way.
Nick Bolton here with the latest from Bell & Howell. We call them tack glasses. Inspired by the sunglasses worn by our heroes in uniform, tack glasses block blinding glare so well, invisible objects suddenly become visible. Enhance colors to give you vision as sharp as an eagle's and survive even the harshest conditions. Look, ordinary sunglasses just make things darker, which could be deadly in a tactical situation. Tack glasses improve optical clarity so you can see clearly even in low light. If you've never seen how this light filtering technology works, check this out. Nothing to see, right? But look again as we hold up our tack glasses. A colorful American eagle is revealed. Amazing!
Act now to get your tack glasses for just $19.99, and we'll even ship it to you free. So don't delay. Order yours today.
To order, call 1-800-287-3213. Again, that's 1-800-287-3213, or order online at trytackglasses.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Sports here on WYLN. I'm your host, Marty Burns. Please be joined once again this week, formerly of Weatherly High School, in the middle, Scotty Zoscin, and to my far left, Emily Zoscin. And Emily, I probably forgot about this fact, but you also played volleyball, a 2018 First Team Schuylkill League Division All-Star and a Second Team All-Star in District 11 Class A. What was it like playing volleyball?
I enjoyed it a lot. I haven't played it at all until freshman year. A lot of my close friends in high school, we all decided, hey, let's play volleyball. And not that, it was just easy, I don't know. It was, basketball was it was more serious, like AAU tournaments, things like that. Mm-hmm. But volleyball, you know, it was very fun to me. Not that basketball wasn't, but, you know, I could kind of lay back. It was a little tough my freshman and sophomore year because I did cross country as well. So I'd have volleyball practice, and then I'd just go to a cross country meet, and just run. But eventually I had to decide between the two because that was too much. But I loved volleyball a lot, so I ended up picking volleyball for the rest of my 4 years.
And you know what? You sound a lot like a former coach of yours. He used to run cross country, but he didn't practice very much. And what annoyed a lot of people was he used to go out and just run the cross country meets and come back with a school record. So, you know, it really showed practice worked for him. But let's get to basketball. Emily, you're a 3-time All-State honoree. Scotty, as we mentioned, you got the All-State honoree this year. 3,229 points combined between the two of you. Scotty, when you put boys and girls together, you're ranked 7th all-time. Emily, you're ranked 5th. A lot of accolades that hopefully I'll get to as we get through this segment. But Scotty, in not only seeing the success that Emily had, but I'm sure there was probably a little bit of rivalry that went along with that.
Oh yeah, there definitely was. And Emily being older, she was she'd get her district championships before I could even, you know, I was a little freshman, Emily would be a junior getting them, even senior year. And it just became not a jealousy thing, but I'd always be like, well, you know, I'm here too. I'm her little brother. I can play too. But no, of all honesty, like I said, Emily really did, like I never would tell her, but motivation, she was always a big motivation to me. And we'd always, you know, I'd say something, Emily would be smart back with me with, you know, telling me all her accolades. But at the end of the day, she is my sister, and I'm proud of both of us, both the things that we did. And you know, it's really nice having her as a sister, knowing how much she did. So,
and one of the things you shouldn't just pass over, your 2021 team had the most wins in the season in over a decade. That's quite a team accomplishment as well.
Yeah, our basketball team in the last 20 years hasn't really, you know, been to make a name for themselves. And I think I forget when last time we made playoffs. Even I think other than my freshman year. Before that, it's been a long time, but it's nice to see that Weatherly, when you'd hear Weatherly, when I'd be on the basketball team, it wasn't just, oh, it's Weatherly, we could, that's an easy win for us. It'd be like, oh, we're versing Weatherly. It'd be, you know, more put our names on the map a little bit, and it was very nice to see the respect we've got over the years, and, you know, it's really nice to see the things that we did do.
And Emily, what your girls team was able to do in 2018 and 2019, the only girls team in school history to win back-to-back District 11 Class A championships. What do you remember about those two teams?
I actually remember you made a tape for Coach Kringy of what it would sound like when we won. This was my junior year. And he had us all lay in the locker room hallway and had us close our eyes, and we were in the dark, and he played this tape, and we all just started bawling our eyes out. Because like freshman and sophomore year, like we'd get there, like that was our first step, but then we just didn't pull through with it. But after hearing the tape, like that just motivated us so much. That was definitely like the closest group of girls I've ever been with, you know, we're family. Like we still have a district group chat, we'll message in every now and then. Yeah, any memories that come up on like Snapchat or Facebook, we'll share it with each other. No, Coach Kringy always said like, you guys are gonna be bonded for life. And I think we knew that, but you don't realize it until like it's just a memory, you know? So this is the best experience, one of the best moments of my life for sure.
And I've talked to other people in the Wyoming Valley Conference about playing football at Crispin Field in Berwick. But for you guys to play at Martz Hall in Pottsville, and for you guys to get those what ended up being, as eventually found out, 2 district championships, won both on that Martz Hall floor, how special was that?
It was the best. I mean, Coach Kringy showed us this like presentation, and he was like, we're going to make it there one day. We're going to make it. And it was a picture of Martz Hall, and that was our goal. And I think about senior year, like that's where my career ended. And I always think of like the what ifs, but at the end of the day, I don't think I would have wanted to end it anywhere else besides Martz Hall. I mean, I was kind of mad junior year. We didn't win or lose at Martz Hall.
Right.
We were done somewhere else. I mean, Martz Hall, we were just familiar with it, and yeah, it was a great place just to play basketball. You know, the energy it's just so amazing. I love it there.
And the fan support that the community of Weatherly gave you guys, and especially the high school community, led by a certain guy in the middle that, what was that, her junior year that you came out in that Weatherly?
Yeah.
I heard there was a time capsule that was recently put in the ground in Weatherly. Did you put those shorts in there too?
I should have, actually. But no, like Emily is, even that whole team, at the end of the day, no matter what they do, I'm always going to be the number one fan. Like I am a number one supporter. I always will be. And, just seeing Emily and the whole team just be able to get there and just keep on going forward and having, the whole town of Weatherly on their back, it just was a great moment. I just love being able to watch it and being, in the little shorty shorts cheering them on. But yeah, it was really nice.
Now, Emily, the other thing, especially your senior year, you guys just didn't stop with a district championship. You made a run in states where you got 2 state tournament victories. Not a lot of teams can claim that run for your senior year. Talk about how special those 2 playoff games were.
Oh my gosh, everybody was there. Like, it was just amazing. It's a feeling I can't describe. Just the energy people brought, and it radiated towards us, and we radiated our energy towards them. And the first game in states, it was the team we lost to junior year, and we were out for them. Like, we just needed to win. And then we played Benton, and that was a great victory. I mean, we played at Bloom, and that was a really awesome experience. And I actually play with one of the girls from Benton now at Homing, so but yeah, it was just amazing. I mean, I'll never forget the last game either. All the fans were like, "Thank you, Wreckers," and just chanting. And I was in the middle. I had Lindsay and Megan on my sides, and I was hugging them. And oh my gosh, it was just, you'll never forget it, ever. It's amazing.
One of those moments that you'll keep with you forever. And one of the nice things is when you go on a run like that and you win titles, no matter where you may all go across the country, you always that team always brings you back.
Yeah, always.
Okay, we're going to finish up with Scotty and Emily right after this.
Guys, this is Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander Buick GMC. If you're in the market for the truck, you better hurry up. They're selling like hotcakes. We have this one here.
That one's sold.
Okay. Or if you're looking for a sport utility, we have a huge selection of GMC, Buick Encore GXs, Buick Enclaves.
That one's sold too.
So don't forget, if you're in the market for a Buick or GMC, come on down to Blaze Alexander Buick GMC of Greater Houston and find out where we take the deals the other guys won't.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Go hog wild for Iron Pigs Baseball. WYLN is televising the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs live. America's favorite pastime on your local network, WYLN TV 35. See the stars of tomorrow at Coca-Cola Park. Don't miss any of the games here on WYLN TV 35. Visit WYLNTV.com for a complete Iron Pigs schedule. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs on WYLN, your home for live sports.
September 18th is the season kickoff at the Wilsey Center in Hazelton. Opening up the night, legendary vocalist Tony Angelo. And then one of the best party bands around, Ostrich Hat. Their high-energy show contains songs from every genre of popular music. Doors open at 6, show starts at 7. Tickets just $15 each. Get them online, wilseycenter.org, or in person at Boscov's at the Laurel Mall, the Melfi School of Music, the Hazelton Employees Credit Union. Don't miss this awesome kickoff event, September 18th.
Welcome to the castle. Meet me at the Wilsey.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Sports here on WYLN. I'm your host, Marty Burns. We've got about 4 minutes left here on the show. And Emily and Scott, I'm here with Emily and Scotty Zoscin, all-state honorees at Weatherly High School. I get the honor to work with my dad for a lot of years on our broadcast, so it's always some special times whenever we do games together. But Emily, your dad, Scott, was on Coach Kringe's staff for those district championship runs. How was it to have him on board on that coaching staff?
Sometimes it was a little rough. We fight like cat and dog sometimes, but, the first district playoff when we won, he was the first person I looked for to give a big hug. So I do have a lot of amazing memories with him, not even just like on basketball with Coach Kringe. He was my AAU coach, so we went through a lot of games together, and some were definitely better than others, but, I wouldn't have traded that experience with my dad for the world.
Now, Scotty, you didn't have the opportunity to have your dad on the staff, but Scott's also the athletic director at Weatherly High School, so if he wasn't at all of your events, he was pretty much at a lot of them.
Yeah.
How was it knowing that he was there in some capacity, and I'm sure he had some advice for you after whatever particular event he might have been at?
Yeah, no matter what it was, he'd always try to get his way into, letting me hear him. I mean, I'd be even playing during a basketball game, I'd be able to hear him at the back of my ear. And one thing about running, he's never was big into running until I did it, so he wouldn't be able to give me jabs for that. But for basketball, no matter how many times I get frustrated with him and I'd always be jabbing back at him, I always knew he always wanted the best for me. Even Emily, he wanted the best for all of us. And I think a lot of my work ethic comes from not just my dad, my parents in general. They really do push us a lot. And, having him there and my mother there too, it's just, of course, my mother, yeah. It's, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I'm very blessed to have them there with us.
And you talk about work ethic. One of the things, ranking second in school history with 191 three-pointers made. Sort of what Emily talked about earlier, where she'd hear you dribbling in the middle of the night, waking her up.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of that work ethic, the dribbling and the shooting. 191 three-pointers, I don't think they ever would allow me to take that many threes when I played. So to get that ranking in school history, and we talked about 7th all-time when you combine boys and girls in scoring for you personally. Talk about the blood, sweat, and tears to get you to that point.
Well, we live 2 minutes away from a local park called Urena Park, and John Fermanchen, he runs the park. He always let me into the pavilion, and a little basketball court we'd play biddy in, and I'd always ask him every single day, could I get into the pavilion? Could I get into the pavilion? Because there'd be schedules and everything, but whenever there was opening, he'd let me in, so I'd constantly be in that pavilion. And I grew to love the art. I think of shooting as an art. I'd always loved shooting. When I was younger, I didn't know how to shoot at all. I'd always be, taking it in like Emily. But throughout the years, I started shooting more, and it became an art, and it became something I really became accustomed to, and never want to really lose that. I still do practice from this day too, even though I'm going to run, but still never fell out of love with it.
And Emily, just to touch on your career, 1,703 points, 5th all-time, but some interesting team stats: 745 career rebounds, 480 steals, 360 assists. When you put that whole package together, just talk about how that contributed to the team.
Scoring isn't everything in the game. I mean, I think the number one thing is defense, and it helped with track. With the speed, that's what helped me with my steals. Coach Kringe he coached how I wanted to play. And, so when we would press, that's where I'd get all my steals. And, I'd have one of the girls who was in the front in the press, they'd run down, and then we'd get so many fast break points off of that. And of course, as a point guard, assists are very important. You probably should not be a point guard if you don't have assists. But yeah, I mean, scoring felt great, but it would feel amazing, to get that really great assist or that really great steal. I think all of it you just need to do to, I wouldn't have done as great as I have if I didn't contribute all the other things in basketball.
Well, time goes by and the buzzer's about to go off on us. So Emily and Scotty, congratulations on your All-State honors. Thanks for joining us. Best of luck in college.
Thank you for having us.
Exactly.
For Emily and Scotty Zoscin, I'm Marty Burns saying so long. We'll see you next week for another edition of Let's Talk Sports here on WYLN.
watching WYLN TV 35.